Hey guys, listeners, and welcome back to today's video on the channel. I hope you're doing really well. It is a Friday, so obviously it's a video day, but this is like not really like, what's the word? Typical Lordy video. I don't obviously upload many videos of me talking. I'm not like obviously an influencer or like some sort of like motivational speaker. I don't do that stuff. Unfortunately, but yeah, I just thought today I'd do a video because I'm not really feeling too great lately, like a little bit mentally. Nothing too major, like, it's nothing to really worry about. It's just sometimes you just go through like a little bit of a shit phase in your life, and it's a bit poo to try and get out of that little situation because obviously it just brings you down a little bit. So I say if I'm just going to try and if I can do, touch on it a little bit and obviously give you guys a bit of like guidance or advice on it a little bit, and maybe if you guys feel the same way, you can obviously deal with it maybe a bit better than I do, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes anyway, though. So, obviously, I put out a post, I think, 2 days ago now, I think, on the Thursday. It might have been Thursday or Wednesday, I'm not too sure which day it was, but you can go to the post, you can go and look at the post on my channel, though, obviously you can read it if you want to go read it, you don't have to. But it was just obviously summarising up that, obviously, mentally, you can have a lot of thoughts about certain things, and obviously people can sometimes make you feel a bit shit. Now, what I mean by that is, like, people in general can use you, like friends, for example, quite a big one, in my opinion. I think that's the best way in saying it. Friends can always disguise themselves as, like, oh, I'm here for you, and the next minute completely just, sack you off, really. Which is horrible. Like, this like, to me, this whole modern era we're in now, 2021, or just in general for the last, I would say, 2 years now, I think, probably. Not just for me, but I think, like, it's what it feels like. The last 2 years, I've just seen people all over this world completely change the way they are. Like, people just a lot, what's the word? People, like these days now, are so selfish and don't care about anyone else. They can disguise themselves as, like, they're here for you, and they can completely just use you in certain ways to make you feel shit. Now, it's so bad to say that because, it's not really great to touch on, certain people or just people in general and say they do bad things, because they don't all do bad things to you. Sometimes people are good, like, they can always make you feel happy, etc. But there's always like those 1 or 2, 3 or 4 people, like you say, there's always those certain people that try to make you feel like you are something, and then in the end you're not. Like, they can say to you like you're important, but you're actually not, because they don't see you as, like, say, as anything really. They make you feel like nothing. Like, to you, let's just say, like, if I don't know, had a new best friend, or like had a best friend or whatever, just say as like an example, I could really think to them I'm important to them, because obviously they told me that, so I'm like, oh, I must be important to them, that's good. And honestly, we could just continuously talk to each other, day in, day out, and obviously make efforts to go and do that, as obviously you would do. Like, whether it's like just like the simplest of messages, like, checking on them, that's a good thing to do. Check on people. I think that's probably maybe the best thing, I think, to do, to be fair, really, to like see how people are, these days, because a lot of people tend to just hide things. They don't always open up to people, whether you like are close. It's like, for me, example, I don't always tell people that I speak to or I'm close to everything, because I don't want to let everyone know about my personal life. You've always got to have, like, certain things that you don't tell everyone that you talk to, because what's the point in saying everything? Because people can also sometimes as well use those things to hurt you as well, if obviously they're quite personal. So I wouldn't really, like, advise you all to go and say, everything that's on your mind to people sometimes, because I thought they can just backfire and just absolutely use it in the future, obviously, if anything goes wrong between you and that person, or just anyone, really. But yeah, I mean, say for though, touching on like the fake friend topic thing, it's horrible to even think about that fake friends exist and people just use you. It's this whole modern era, these days, people just are so selfish and so up their arse, they don't care. Like, let's just say, you're feeling down, they couldn't care if you told them. Like, they just don't care. They might act like they do, but deep down they don't. Like, the only way you can probably gather they actually do care is obviously if they do tell you everything and actually make the effort to go and say that stuff to you. Otherwise, it's just a load of waffle, and you're like, great, yay, I'm on my own again. And I think that's what a lot of people tend to think about, though. Like, I wouldn't say you know, on average, a lot of people generally do care for me. I don't care if people do care or not. I'm not. It's not. It's it doesn't really affect me as much because it's my own life. It's my own thing to deal with. Um, but it's like you lot though. Like you guys watching watching the video now. I mean, I would say on average, a lot of you guys, people, or even girls as well, obviously. But I don't like it saying that, to be fair, though, guys. But you get what I mean. Obviously, all you lot on this video would probably say like the people I actually talk to a lot on my streams or whatever on my channel. And obviously that I just consistently watching my stuff. Always ask me like how are you doing and stuff, and actually do make the effort to go and say that stuff because obviously they do care. And obviously seeing like comments sometimes like whenever I'm like feeling a bit down, like oh I hope you get better and stuff like that. Them are the types of people this world needs more of, because otherwise you're just going to get all these toxic people that you think are actually there for you when they're actually not, and it's so bad, so bad, because it literally makes your morale go so down. It makes you want to do absolutely nothing because people just for some bizarre reason find it okay to use people to make them feel shit, and then obviously that person who feels shit get so many thoughts built up in their head, and it just overflows their head with all the other things as well to just make it more chaos for them to try and deal with mentally. And that's why mental health is horrendous these days because of it, because that's what people do to just everyone who just do it for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't aggravate me, it just baffles me why people do that. Like, let's just say for example, like people, like friends or anyone, like ignore messages. That's a big one. I think I would say majority of people that watch this video now would say the same thing if you're correct. Like whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, bloody Reddit, Discord, Tinder, anything that's just social media wise that actually has like a messaging platform, whatever, to go and talk to people. I would say on average, I would say 9 out of 10. I think everyone has experienced that one thing where someone doesn't talk to you for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, but consistently, and I mean this, consistently text other people and just leave you undelivered, read, whatever, for that long time, and then be like, yeah, I'll just talk to them now, because that's the way people feel. They don't care for you. I'll admit to you all now, I've been in that position before where I've had someone that I've talked to, say, for day in, day out, where I ask him sometimes, I'll confront him about it and say, if you like, ignore me sometimes or whatever, and they're like, no, and then obviously you see it consistently still happening over and over and over again. A prime example is like Snapchat. Literally, Snapchat is horrendous with the way it is. Like, you can send a Snapchat to some friend, whatever, and then be left undelivered and see their Snapchat score going up consistently all the time, while you're being sat there undelivered for like 4, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, and then nothing happens until maybe like in a day or two, and those people are still texting other people behind, doing their own thing to other people, but just leaving you just leaving you there. And obviously, if you're important to them and then obviously ignore you, clearly you're not important to them. Clearly, what is the point of you, messaging them if they're just going to leave you on red all the time, or just delivered, whatever? Just ignore you. Like, literally, if you do that, that is horrendous. That is literally so toxic to do. Like, you're not a celebrity. Just open your messages and reply to them. Just do it. It's easy. It's not hard to just go, yeah. Oh, got a DM from about an hour ago. Open it straight away. Don't just leave them on red or whatever. It's such a bad thing these days. We see it's horrendous. I hate the thought process of it all. Like, why do people do that? They just think, oh yeah, it's got a bloody thing on my phone, Snapchat notification from someone, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'll reply to about an hour or two. Like, why? Why do you have to do that for? Like, it's like me though. Whenever I get like a bloody message on my phone, I reply like that. If I can do, which is I would say 99.9% all the time. If I'm not busy. If I'm busy, then I've got to wait a little bit. But that's just normal though. But obviously, if you're active though, texting other people, but you can't text that one person though, there's something obviously you've got against them. But yeah, it's just I just don't like the thought process of people just being fake people and just using them. It's not right. It isn't right in my opinion just to use people these days. You got to say treat everyone the same, or if obviously someone's better than that person, still treat them the same as they are. It's like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. still, don't distreat him or mistreat him in a way in which you'll bring him down. If you simply don't like anybody, don't talk to him. If you simply don't like anyone in general, don't talk to him. Don't do the horrible and toxic things people hate, because otherwise it gives those other people that obviously are making effort so many bad thoughts in their head, and obviously it consistently just builds up and builds up and builds up. There's more and more stress for them, and there's more and more processes. They're trying to control it and just not get angry about it. Because I'll tell you now, I've been angry many times when that's happened before. Especially with obviously the whole bloody messaging thing, where you don't get talk to you for say 4 or 5 hours, whatever, because people just don't really want to talk to you. But why would you still make the effort though to still do that? But obviously when you can be out to text though, still text. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. But it's just, I don't see the point in say having such a big friend group, because it's like this is the best way in saying it. When you're in like high school or primary school, you have so many friends. If you do or not, I don't know if you do, but I used to have an absolute ton. And I'll admit to you all now, my friend circle is not as big as it used to be, and I don't really care, to be fair, really. It's better having a small friend group than a big one, because otherwise you can have more and more people completely forget about you, completely forget who you are, and not really care at all. While you have maybe 3 or 4, 5, 6, whatever friends that are a smaller group that will actually be there for you properly. Because I think when you leave school, this is like the best way in saying it. When you leave school, every single person, I would say majority of the time, will forget who you are. Like maybe one in a while you get like a message off like a, I don't know, happy birthday message from someone or whatever. But they won't check on you though. They won't go, oh hi, how you doing? None of that stuff will happen. But just say for happy birthday or whatever, nothing major. No one generally these days does check on people though, really. I mean, if you talk to someone like every single day, sometimes it might happen, once in a while, like, oh, how are you as well, or whatever, in your conversation. But people just don't really care, and I hate it, because it's just so selfish to see people be mistreated for the way they are. Like, if you could literally be talking to such a great person, and and then you be like, yeah, I don't really say anything in them, I can't be honest talking to you, to be fair, make no effort, and just bring them down. Like, why is your mindset so, what's the word, toxic on that? It doesn't make any sense at all for what it is. It shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that, in my opinion. But it's just people these days. It is, and it's horrendous. But it's got to deal with it and battle through it, really. Unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I know the community post that I put up a little bit ago, obviously like 2 days ago, I think it were, whenever it were, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever, did obviously summarise it a little bit, but I'm fine though. But sometimes I just get a little bit like down about it, because it just baffles me seeing people like that. And whenever you feel down though, you just don't feel like you're anything, because you can't turn to anyone else to talk to. Like, I've got plenty of people, and I've also got plenty of people I can trust, but it's those people trying to trust though. Can you try and actually open up to them and obviously really trust them, in which the things you're going to tell them, can you really keep it to themselves, or are they going to just use those things against you to hurt you even more? Because you can do. It's hard these days to try and trust anyone, in my opinion. But no matter what you've got to do, you've got to do what you've got to do end of the day to try and get you through day by day by day. So yeah, that is just the way I think people are sometimes. But end of the day though, as I mentioned, you just got to battle through it, and obviously try and get out of the mental game, and just try and control it. Whether you're angry, frustrated, whatever. If you get there's any sort of emotion towards anything, whether it's just fake friends, whatever, just try and control it as best you can do, and obviously things will hopefully get better for you. If not, then obviously just change and cut friends off, cut anything you need to do that's just toxic off. And I know it might sound bad, but it's for the best though. I felt absolutely better cutting off those toxic people than feeling shit and feeling down about it. Just don't care about anything that's bad at all, because if you get those worries and stuff, it's just gonna make you more stressed and stressed and stressed, which obviously you don't want to be stressed anyway. But yeah, anyway though, that'll the I think it's probably the best way to end on that video. But yeah, just take into consideration of people before you tell them just before you say anything really to anyone. Like, can you really trust this person and stuff like that, or just believe people sometimes because they don't always seem like they are there for you genuinely. But you know, it's this modern world these days, unfortunately. But anyway, though, I will see you guys in tomorrow's stream. Take care as always, and from obviously bottom of my heart, I love you all on my channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.